Welcome to SP Streamer Live. I'm your host, Michael Simione. You can follow me on Twitter at SP Streamer, as you can see under me. Last night, actually, we recorded a podcast episode, me and Lauren, about our second half predictions. So that's a really good episode. I suggest watching that if you can, or listen to it on our podcast last night, actually. And so some really good info in there too if you're trying to look forward for the rest of the season here. But for this morning, we're just going to go over our streamers, the streamer chart, just talk about Logan Webb quickly and how wrong I was on. Well, not wrong, but I rated him kind of low in my rest of the season rankings because he was sent down. I didn't realize it was really just like a technicality type thing, and he's going to be up right away. So that's why I put him down low. But anyway, we'll talk about him. For today, we got Tyler McGill going against Atlanta. I know it's I need to move my mic closer. I know it's kind of a tough matchup, but McGill's been really good. I mean, he just was able to handle Toronto, so I feel like why not? Might as well roll with it. Then we're going to go with Tanner Hawk at home against Toronto. Again, tough matchup, but his slider looked fantastic his last outing. I mean, the 20.8K walk is really good. And that Sierra is pretty ridiculous too. I mean, short sample, but or small sample. Either way, figure I'd take a shot at both the young guns. I feel like at least one of them will work out. Odorizzi against Seattle's not a bad option. Odorizzi's technically better on the road. Seattle's been swinging and missing a lot, so that has some potential there. Then on the other side of the Boston game, we got Steven Matz going into Boston. Boston hits really well at home. So that's why I'm putting Matz behind, not first here. But I think Matz is pretty good overall pitcher as long as he stays healthy. But again, you don't want to really go against Boston when they're home. When they're away, it's a different story. Adrian Hauser, my deep option. I mean, there weren't any really good ones here. It was between him and Happ. It was Happ. I changed it last second to Hauser because Hauser wasn't there originally, but he does get Pitt. Pitt just traded away one of their better hitters. So, that lineup's only going to get worse as the season goes on, especially if they trade some more pieces. So streaming against them seems like a pretty obvious option. Bumgarner against Texas is a pretty good option as well. Texas has just been really bad. And Bumgarner has been all right. Not great, but all right. But that really does it for today. Do not get Wally Peralta. It's insane that he's 44% owned. I think his last down we saw him regress dramatically, and that's what we're going to see moving forward. As for tomorrow, smaller slate, we're going to go Alex Cobb against Oakland. I just really like what Cobb brings to the table. Pitcher's better at home. Overall, really good skill set. Cueto against the Dodgers at home, okay option. David Price goes into the San Fran. Again, good ballpark, but tough offense to face. Then we're going to go with Alec Mills against Cincy, just because Mills has been pitching really well. I've been talked about him a couple times in the past. So, I think he's a good option. Besides that, I mean, Patino is always so intriguing. He does get the Yankees, though. And Freeland's been pitching really well, and he goes into San Diego. So we'll see if he can continue to do that. Moving on to the 30th, we're going to just kind of go through this real quick. Big slate. The thing is, a lot of these guys haven't been confirmed yet, so I don't know how how many of these are going to stick, to be honest with you. I think only like 4 pitchers are confirmed as of right now, so we'll see what happens. So options might change. Patrick Sandoval, I put at the top. He gets Oakland. I mean, look at these numbers as of late. Pitched amazing last time. I took a no-hitter into the 9th. I feel like there's nothing stopping that guy right now. So I mean, I'm going to give him 8-0. Stripling against the Royals, not a horrible matchup. Stripling's been kind of up and down. That ballpark, though, is kind of hitter-friendly. I'm afraid the Royals are going to start going. I mean, Solaire's starting to hit. He's catching fire. I'm going to give it a 6-8. John Gray goes into San Diego. I mean, it's like impossible to doubt this guy anymore. I'm just giving him a 7-5, no matter who he's facing. Scooball going against Baltimore. Here's the thing, and this is why I'm going to rank him kind of low here. Good matchup, but they're going to start limiting him. Apparently, they're going to be alternating between him and Mize, who they're going to limit. They just limited Mize like 4 starts in a row. So I have a feeling they might go to School Bowl now, and he might only be limited to 4 innings. So we'll see. But I'm going to give him a 6.5 just because of that worry, because it's not going to be worth it for you if it's only going to be 4 innings. If you own him, obviously hold on. Josh Fleming gets Boston. Boston on the road is not as good. Fleming's okay. I'll give him 6.6. Although, yeah, we'll stick with it. All right, Zach Thompson gets the Yankees. Thompson pitching really well. Last start, he struggled a little bit. And then he got scratched right before the break and all that stuff too. But anyway, he gets the Yankees at home. Yankees offense can be annoying. But Thompson has been pretty good and pitching pretty well at home. I'll give him a 7.0 just because we like the skill set. Hopefully he could kind of turn it around. Ryan Weathers versus Colorado. We all know Colorado on the road. Weathers good at home too. You're not going to get strikeouts, but maybe I feel like he could get by without really letting up too much damage and giving you a decent start. I'm going to go 6.9. Okay. Next is Kobe Allard against Seattle. Seattle, big swing and miss team. It looks like they're sellers. Who really knows what they're doing. The owner kind of says, no, you got to wait and see what we do all together. So kind of interesting to see what they're going to end up doing over there. So yeah, but anyway, as of right now, I mean, I guess I'll give this like a 6.7, just because I think Allard's a little better than we think, plus decent matchup. Espino against the Cubs. Not a big fan of Espino. I know the Cubs haven't been great. We'll go 6.5. John Lester at Philly. You don't really want this. I'm going to 6.0. Mejia at White Sox. Can't trust Mejia. Even though the White Sox haven't been playing well, it doesn't matter. Trevor Williams at Washington. Soto's been heating up. No Trey Turner now for a week, though. At least, I think it's technically 10 days. So that stinks for a lot of my teams. But anyway, so no Trey Turner. So that makes Washington's lineup not nearly as good, especially since they don't have Schwarber too. So they really just have Soto. But I don't trust Trevor Williams. I know he performed okay, but I'll give him a 6.5. He did well his last outing, but Tukey takes on Milwaukee, tough offense. Tukey's been looking really good. He still leaves a lot of stuff middle, so I'm curious to see if it can last. But I think the movement on his sinker and the new it has a different arc than it did in past years. So I wonder if it'll end up being okay, because it's possible pitchers could get away with it if their pitchers are that good. So it's definitely a possibility. It's going to be hard to go against him at this point, but I'll just give him a 7.5. We'll see what he gives us there. Daniel Lynch against Toronto. He looked really good his last outing, but Toronto's going to be a tough matchup for him. I want to see if he can hold that, be consistent and hold that success. So we'll see if he could do that again. If he can, definitely someone to buy in and stream as much as possible. So we'll see what he gives us there. I'm going to give him a 6.5 just because of the matchup. Wade LeBlanc versus Minnesota. You don't want this. A 5.5. Will Crow against Philly. He's just so inconsistent, unfortunately. And then Harvey against Detroit. I know he's been pitching really well his last 2 starts, but I wouldn't fall for it, guys. I know he made a pitch mix change, but it still doesn't look like a good one to me. So I can't buy it as of right now. All right, so let's just kind of merge them. All right, so Sandoval is going to be our Child League option. Ryan Weathers will be our main, and then we're going to go with. I'm moving Allard up. I want him over Stripling and for our deep option. Those are our 3: Sandoval, Weathers, and Allard. All right. So again, today McGill, Hawk, Hauser. Tomorrow, Cobb, Mills, and the next day Sandoval, Weathers, and Allard. Those are our streamers. Quickly, let's look at Logan Webb. So last night pitched pretty well against the Dodgers. I actually picked him as a stream and it worked out. I think he went 6 innings. So he went 6 innings, 1 earned, 5 Ks. So he pitched really well against a tough offense there. I mean, you can see overall 39 CSW, basically got a ton of cold strikes on that sinker as per usual. And then the slider, he's able to get a couple of whiffs. You kind of want to see a higher CSW on the slider, but this works. And as long as it works, it works. So anyway, I really like Logan Webb moving forward. I did mention I think he can struggle against lefties, though. He does struggle against lefties. Not I think he can. He does struggle against lefties. So I would maybe be careful against lefty heavy lineups. But obviously he's a must-add. Obviously he's a hold. Obviously he could be really good moving forward, especially with that ballpark, especially with that that pitching staff behind him. So this is all good. I hope he keeps being successful. I mean, I know I put him pretty low in my rest of the season rankings. A lot of people gave me shit for it. And it was just because I kind of misread what happened when they sent him down. But yeah, I think he could be really good. Everything checks out with him. Continue to start him. I think he's at this point just a must start. I mean, how can you bench him against anyone? So yeah, Logan Webb looks really good. I mean, let's look at his locations too real quick. So he likes to keep everything low, which is fine. The sinker, yeah, it leaves in the middle a little bit, but that's okay. It just induces a lot of weak contact. But the changeup and slider, he leaves low in the zone often. He only missed once in the middle. So it's just really good and something you want to see. He, again, just has solid command. And when you're keeping everything low in terms of breaking balls, then it's going to work for you. So I really like this. It's good that when he does miss, it's typically below or outside the zone. So that's always a good thing there. So again, Logan Webb, really good pitcher. Keep an eye on him. Keep him on your roster if you have him. Go after him if you can. I feel like he's going to be really good moving forward and could be that difference maker that you need for your team. So real quick, let's just look at this month's numbers too. Our main picks, we have a 3.36 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP with a 20-10 record. Deep league options been a little rougher, 4.59 ERA with 11-12 record. But shallow league, we have a lot more wins than losses with a 4.17 ERA as well. So far so good this month, and we will see if we can finish strong. We only have a couple more days left, but that does it. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at SP Streamers. Subscribe to our Twitch if you want to support us, or join our membership, which you can find on our website. We're actually going to revamp that and make it even better for next season. So you might want to get into it now while you can, because there might be a little price increase. But yeah, so that does it, guys. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you soon.